guys, I'm Molly and welcome to Move Well with Molly. Today I thought it would be fun to sit down and talk about gymnastics because you may or may not know, but I was a competitive gymnast for a lot of years, and this YouTube channel actually used to be centered around gymnastics. It was called Everyday Gymnastics. I graduated high school last year, and with that I retired from gymnastics. So today we are doing a Q&A for a retired gymnast. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram and you delivered some awesome questions. I'm going to be talking about my experience, my favorite and least favorite things, advice for current gymnasts. I'm just going to be looking back on my time as a gymnast and talking about it. So to give you some background, I started gymnastics later than most girls would. I was 11 and I started classes. By the time I was 12, I was competing for the team and I did level 4. I got all the way up to level 9. That's what I competed in my last season, and I just love gymnastics. I can talk about it all the time. I don't do it anymore because my college doesn't have any form of gymnastics, but I feel happy that I've moved on and I am still active in the gymnastics community. You know, I still am friends with people on the team. I hang out with them. I visit the gym, I follow gymnasts on Instagram, I watch the gymnastics on TV, and I coach gymnastics in the summer and then when I'm on breaks from school. Also, I think because of gymnastics, though I didn't really do extra training and workouts while I was a gymnast, being a gymnast showed me the importance of being active and fit and how great it felt to be strong. So when I stopped gymnastics, that was a good segue into my fitness journey and getting to where I am now. I'm really interested in learning about workouts and being active and getting strong, as well as a healthy lifestyle and nutrition and wellness and all of that. So being a gymnast has really shaped me into what I'm doing today. So that's why I thought it would be very cool to go back a little bit and talk about it. So now let us get into your questions. Okay, first question. Favorite and least favorite part of gymnastics? So I simply cannot pick just one favorite. I think gymnastics is such a huge and well-rounded and great experience. It comes with so many things. So first you have your teammates, and I always say it's so easy to become close with your gymnastics teammates. You're together all the time, but mostly you're doing something that's so crazy and like uncommon. You're flipping and throwing your bodies through the air and you're getting over mental blocks, and it's scary and hard, but it's so fun, so you have such a special thing to bond over. I just think that's what makes your gymnastics teammates so special. Next up, gymnastics is such a huge commitment and a challenge. So I had a scheduled week. I had gymnastics 4 to 5 to 6 times a week, and I always had that schedule every week. I knew when I was going, and so it gave me something to do so often, and it helped me to learn time management and schedule my time and get things done, and then look forward to going to practice, giving myself a challenge. Gymnastics is so cool because you'll never be at the top. You can always level up. You can level up to the next actual gymnastics level. You can learn skills. You always can add another twist, add another flip. You need to work on sticking your landing. You need to work on your form. So you're never perfect, and that's so cool because you can always be learning. You can always be striving to be better. I love that about gymnastics. You're never going to just stop. With that comes the feeling after competing, after you stick your routine, the feeling after you make a new skill that you've been working tirelessly on for so long. In gymnastics we go, you learn what the skill is, you watch it, you start doing drills, you start doing basics and working up to it, and then you try it over and over and over again. And once you land it, it's like nothing else, especially with your support of your teammates and all of that. The feelings you get from gymnastics and accomplishments are so good.
You got this, dude. Come on, you got it. Spot it.
And then lastly, I was lucky enough to be able to travel in gymnastics, so my team would go to meets. I did YMCA gymnastics, and each year there's YMCA nationals. So I've been all over the USA with my teammates, and it's so much fun. I've gone to see so many places, and I've been to so many states, and I'm so lucky to have been able to do that. But gymnastics has been the vehicle of like giving me an excuse to go to those places. Oh, one last thing, see there's so many favorites, is the community that comes with gymnastics. Beyond the gym community and your teammates and coaches and the younger girls who look up to you and the older girls you look up to is this broader community. You know, there's so many gymnasts you can follow on Instagram, YouTube, you watch college gymnastics on TV, elite gymnastics on TV. So many people are involved with and passionate about gymnastics. It is just the coolest thing. There's always people to talk to, get advice from, look up to. Love the community. My least favorite part of gymnastics is, of course, mental blocks and just the fact that it's a hard and scary sport. It's really hard and you need to be strong. You need to be extremely mentally tough and consistently work on making your mind strong in order to get through it. And if you want to stay in gymnastics, you need to work on that and commit to working on your mental toughness. I also think I really enjoyed that challenge and getting better and like showing myself what I can do, but it was not easy because of all these mental blocks. What do you miss the most? So just the overall sport and the feeling of being able to go through my routines. When you see gymnasts, it looks like they're flying, and it really feels like that. Like swinging around the bar, flipping through the air, it's something like no other. And I realized my senior year, I was at the peak of my gymnastics. Like after I stopped gymnastics, I would never be able to get to that level again. So just like not being able to do my series on beam anymore and my giants on bars, I miss those feelings. Favorite gymnastics memories. So I would say a lot of my favorite memories come from traveling with my teammates, of course. Like I said, we got to go all over the USA and everything from wandering around the hotel, swimming in the hotel pool, staying in our hotel rooms, eating out, seeing the city that we're at, competing in big, huge arenas. Everything like that is so much fun and I'm so lucky to have those times and I really miss them. What was the hardest skill you could do? I graduated as a level 9 and on bars I did an overshoot release from high bar to low bar. I also did a toe front dismount. On floor I did a double full twist. On vault I competed a Yurchenko tuck, but I had been working Yurchenko layouts into the pit and I did get it onto one mat in the pit. Lastly, my big beam skills were a side aerial and back handspring step out, layout step out series. What was your favorite event / skill? So I'm sure a lot of gymnasts can relate, but my favorite event was constantly changing, honestly depending on where my mental blocks were, what I was doing well on. By the final year, it did switch a bunch of times, my favorite event, but I will say it was never bars in my last year because that was such a struggle for me. I would say always my favorite event to compete was floor, because I always had such fun music and choreography for my floor routines. I had so much fun performing and doing my floor skills. I always felt confident on the floor. So that's my favorite event to compete. Probably by the time I graduated, my favorite event to practice was beam. But I had a really long phase where vault was my favorite event. Who was your gymnastics role model? Definitely Allie Raisman. Right from the start, she was my favorite gymnast when I first got a favorite gymnast. She still is to this day. So this was right before I started gymnastics. I watched the 2012 London Olympic Games and I saw the Fierce 5 and Allie Raisman stuck out to me. I loved her floor and she just seems like so hardworking and such a good leader. And I still feel the same way. I've seen her grow. I think she's so mature, responsible, respectful, and she's really outspoken about important issues. She just seems like such a kind and hardworking and caring person, as well as a killer gymnast. I loved watching her in 2012, 2016, and everything in between. What did you do with your leotards? So I got rid of a lot of them. I had so many just from buying my own leotards as well as hand-me-downs. That was a huge thing. All the older girls would pass down leotards. So I took the ones that I was okay giving away and put them in a giant bag. I went to the gym after I had graduated and after the team practice, I just dumped the whole bag and was like, go ahead, and they just swarmed. I did keep a few of my favorite ones and gave them to my close friends that were younger than me, and then I had to keep some of my own just in my drawer. You know, you get a bond to your leotards and it's hard to let go of some of them. I know some people didn't give away a single one of their leotards just because they felt so like emotionally attached to them. So I kept my competition leotard that was for my last 3 years, I believe. the YMCA Nationals leotard. My team wore this my senior year, and it says Beast Mode on the back. I did design it with my other senior teammate, and then I kept these practice leotards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They were just ones that I really liked and wore a lot near the end of my career, and I did not want to give them up. Maybe later, not yet still. I don't know why, I just really want to keep them. What was the biggest benefit from being a competitive gymnast that helps you today? What life lessons did gymnastics teach you? So much. The sport taught me so much. Everything from setting goals and aiming high and believing in yourself and pushing yourself to be your best, to never giving up with persistence, determination, and especially pushing through fear. Having mental blocks in the time was just absolutely awful. I hated it so much, but now it's showed me that even if there's something that seems absolutely impossible, you don't think you're ever going to be able to get over it, with the hard work and the persistence and the consistency, you will be able to. You need to do little things each day, and even though it may feel like it's not working on the individual days, over time you can make these changes in your life. So with that, I've gotten so good at visualization, seeing what I want in my head, manifesting it, and just really fully believing in myself, as well as affirmations. These are saying anything from, I can do my back handspring, I will do my back handspring will be perfect, to now applying it into my normal day. Every day in the morning I wake up and write my affirmations for the day. So it can be, I'm hardworking, I am happy, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am productive, I am capable. Visualization, positive affirmations, pushing through fear, persistency, consistency, determination, and setting goals. Just to name a few. How did you deal with nerves? So for competitions, I did get super nervous, but I had a little routine. The night before, I would visualize my routines, and when I was falling asleep, I would see the routines in my head. Sometimes I would literally visualize myself falling off the beam. I was like, why did I just do that? You have to keep doing it until you visualize your routine perfect, and it takes practice, but eventually you'll get good at your visualization. Then the next day, I had a hype up meet playlist. So as I was getting ready, I would have my music blasting, music that makes me feel good and confident and excited. I would also listen to my music on the car ride there, as well as visualize again. Then during stretch, I would talk with my friends and just try to distract myself. I would always tell myself, have fun. There's really nothing to be afraid about. Just have fun and pretend like it's practice. We would listen to the national anthem and have a walk-in, and just the meet person would talk on the microphone. So during that, I really just did deep breathing. I did hold your breath for 4 seconds, then let it out for 4 seconds. I would also do this thing where I would feel my senses. So I would be like, okay, I feel my feet on the gymnastics floor, and you really try and focus on what that feels like. You would say, I see the American flag, and then I smell chalk and sweat. Just try and zero in on how you're feeling, and this will really ground yourself. Lastly, right before my routines, deep breathing again, hype myself up and tell myself, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna kill it, and I'm going to have fun. It's no big deal, it's just me going out there and showing what I can do. What is your biggest tip for a gymnast at any level? So I'm all about the mental stuff and, positivity and telling yourself you can do it. So my one piece of advice that I think you need to fully believe is that you can do so much more than you think, and your mind is what's limiting you. Our minds are so powerful, and they will tell you no, stop, you can't do it, but your body is so strong and you are so capable. So it's really just getting past your mind and working on the mental toughness. Mental toughness is key if you want to succeed in gymnastics and get to a high level and push through the problems that you're gonna have. Also have fun. It's not that deep. Just go to gymnastics, do what you love, and try your best, but also it's not that serious. Mental block help is my next question. So I do have an entire video, I think it's 15 minutes long, talking about mental blocks. I'll link it below. I will link it right here. Definitely go check that out. It is loaded with tips for overcoming mental blocks and for working on your mental toughness. I will say one thing right now, my top helper Now this works for me, it may not work for you, everyone is different, but try it out. I called it the color spotter. So when I would get stressed out, frustrated, sad, like when I was about to cry, I would do this a lot. Pick a color, say green, and then you have to look around the gym really quickly and find 5 things that are green. You can say blue, find 10 things that are blue, and this will just distract you for like 30 seconds. So the color spotter is what kind of calmed me down in the moment, but overcoming mental blocks goes beyond that. That's the whole mental toughness as a whole, as well as just lifestyle changes with the visualization, positive affirmations, and believing in yourself. So this is just one thing, the color spotter, that worked for me. It may not work for you, but there are so many good tips and pieces of advice in that mental block video, so please go check it out, it might help you. How do you make friends when you're starting? So like I said before, I honestly think that it is easy to make friends with your teammates. It just happens once you get on team. But if you're not on team yet, you're still in classes, or even if you are on team and sometimes you're having a hard time clicking with the girls, totally understandable. My main tips would just be to smile, come off as a very nice and outgoing person, try your best to talk to them, ask people for their name. Even if you don't know what to talk about with them, just ask a question. Be like, how do we do this here at this gym? Or what event are we going to next? Or what's the name of that coach? Just figure out ways that you can start conversation with the girls, and then before you know it, you will be talking and chatting and being friends. Just smile, try your best to be outgoing, and just ask them something or start a conversation about anything you can think of. Did you condition every day you did not practice? No, sad to say. I wish I did, honestly, but when I was a gymnast, I just did practice, and we conditioned at practice, of course, and we got strong at practice, but I wish that I did workouts and strength training beyond gymnastics. I think it would have made my time a lot easier. It would have made me a better gymnast, but I honestly just wasn't into that phase of my life at that point. I did have phases where I would go on runs like once or twice a week, but nothing really beyond practice. I just was really looking forward to my off days and being able to rest. So if you are a gymnast and you are considering working out more than just practice, if you're up for it and you feel like it would benefit you, I definitely recommend. It might just make your skills come easier. But yeah, I didn't start actually working out on my own and doing strength training and other forms of cardio and trying out a bunch of workouts and learning about health until I had stopped gymnastics, gone to college, and honestly it really picked up when quarantine started. That's when I started educating myself and getting structure in for my workouts. Okay, so this person says, I recently quit gymnastics due to an injury. I've been feeling empty and sad. How did you deal with quitting? So I completely understand this. Gymnastics is such a big part of your life, and then when you let it go, whether you get injured, you quit, you have to stop, you graduate, it's hard. You feel like a piece of yourself is missing and you just feel empty. So I totally felt that way. After I competed for the last time, I cried in the arena, and then I did cry on the car ride home. I was with my mom and I had sad music on for some reason. Probably wouldn't recommend, but I just like cried and talked to her and reflected on leaving gymnastics behind, which was good. So talk about your feelings. Don't be ashamed to be sad about it, because it's a really big part of you and you're leaving it behind, and that's totally normal when you move on from something. So take that time to be sad and let yourself be sad, because it's normal. But then if you really want to stay involved, do that. I did that. Like I said before, I'm still so involved in the gymnastics community through social media and watching on TV, as well as I'm still in touch a lot with my teammates. I hang out with them, and then I do also coach at my gym. So even though I'm not physically doing the skills, I'm still thinking of warm-up routines and drills for them, and then coaching them on their skills. And being around gymnastics, though it's not the same as me doing it, it's really good for me to still be involved, and that's what's kind of helped me, because I didn't completely shut it out of my life. Also, you know, do what you can, still have fun, do skills around your house, in your backyard. When you visit the gym, do what you can. I am old and washed up now, so it's not like I'm going to be throwing my double full onto the ground. So I do handstands at my house, and then when I'm at the gym, I do back tucks and fun things into the pit. So it's just kind of having fun. Lastly, you need to find something else to take up that time and find a new passion. So gymnastics took up many, many hours of my week, and I honestly felt like being a gymnast was what defined me. So you need to find something else to occupy your time and give yourself something to genuinely enjoy and look forward to. So when I stopped gymnastics, I translated my time and energy into working a lot, coaching at the gym, as well as some babysitting. And then I also hung out with my friends a lot because I never was able to hang out with them on weeknights because I always had practice. So I took my practice time and started being social, and it was so much fun. And since then, I've found fitness, and that's so fun because it gives me another challenge, pushing myself to get stronger, faster, feel good about myself, be the best I can. So I've moved being active in gymnastics to my own fitness journey. Last question, do you ever think about going back to doing gymnastics? Can you still do most of your skills? Do you still do gymnastics once in a while? So I think that there's always some skills that I'm going to be able to do from muscle memory, probably a round off back handspring. As long as I don't get super weak, I'm sure I'll be able to do that for a few good years at least. I did go back to my gym to do gymnastics one time. They have adult gymnastics. I went with my mom and we did adult gymnastics. I was so incredibly out of shape. It's amazing what muscles you use in gymnastics that once you stop doing your skills, you know, your body isn't using those muscles anymore and you are not conditioned anymore. So that was amazing, a little bit frustrating to see. And then at one time at college, this was in November, so it wasn't even that long after I stopped gymnastics, but I thought I was more capable than I was. I didn't realize that my gymnastic skills will indeed escape if I don't practice. So we were at an event and there was a big circle and I went in the middle and thought I would just whip out a standing back tuck, and before I knew it, my forehead was sliding on the gym floor and I heard everyone react and I was on my face. So here's the video. It was really embarrassing and funny too, so I'm honestly glad I did it. It's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. You need to know how to laugh at yourself, but that did show me that I needed to practice. So as soon as I got home for Thanksgiving break, I went into the gym and just pounded out standing back tucks because I was like, I'm not doing that again. And it's all about, you just got to keep your skills, and that's through practice. You can't just expect that. Some people may have their standing back tuck forever. I'm not one of them. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that little funny story. And that is all for my retired gymnast Q&A. Thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. Please follow me on Instagram if you do not already. That way you can participate in future Q&As. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more videos and share this with a friend. Make sure to check out my mental block video. Send some advice to a friend that you learned from this video. And I will see you guys next time.